Okay, class. Glad y'all got on and y'all doing this over the weekend. It's really important that you watch these videos, so it's good to see that you're actually doing what I asked you to do over this weekend. Okay, today we're going to be working on to call or not to call key. And remember, we're working on solving linear functions, so we're still going to have lines in our graphs. So a cell phone company requires customers to pay a set fee for every call, plus an additional charge for every minute. The cost information is summarized in the chart. Use the data set above to answer the following questions. So first, we want you to graph this relationship by labeling each axis and plotting points. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to create a graph. And I know there's a graph on your paper. We're going to act like there's not for a moment. So I'm just going to create a graph. And I'm going to label my points. And I'm going to make sure that I plot my corresponding points. So your graph should look like this. You see how it's labeled? It has the number of minutes and the cost of the calls. Okay, let's move on to number 2. Now I want to determine the equation that relates the cost of the calls to the number of minutes. How can I determine the equation? I could use my calculator. And remember we talked about where I would put this information in my calculator? I would go to Stat, I would hit Enter, and then I would label or I would import this information. So for X, I have 1, so I input 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 6, 4. Let me go back and make that a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6. Then I'm going to go plug in my other values, which is 0.32, 0.44, 0.56, and then I have 0.68, 0.80, then I believe 0.92. I'll look at that to verify that that is correct. Yes. So because I know you have a linear equation, what am I going to do? I'm going to hit Stat, go over to Calculate, go down to 4 for linear regression, and then I have my equation. Okay. So that equation is 0.12x plus 0.2, and that's the same as 20 cents. So your equation should look like this. So now I want to know how much would a customer expect to pay for a 15-minute call. So I know that my 15-minute is my variable. And remember we talked about how the number of minutes is my x, right? So I'm going to plug in 15 for x. And then I'm going to solve the equation. And your equation should look like this. So take a moment and copy down this equation. And we'll go over these steps. I plugged in 15. 15 times 0.12 is $1.80. And then I have to add that to 20 cents. So a customer can expect to pay $2 for that call. Now, can I also do this with my calculator? Because where would I go to plug this into my calculator? I would go to my y equals. And remember we talked about using bars. Stat. Try that again. Bars. Stat, and then go over to equation, hit enter, and it'll plug the equation in for me. Let me delete that other part. So now when I go look at my table, I want to know about what number? 15. So can I scroll down to 15 and see that at 15 it was $2? So now I want to know, what if a customer is charged $1.52 for a call? How many minutes did they talk? Can I also look at my calculator and look at where 152 is, which is right there, and see that they talk 11 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal that. I could also plug that into the equation and solve it. Now what it says, the notes at the bottom are just telling you how you can use your calculator, which we just went over, to find those things as well. Any questions over that? So you should be prepared on Tuesday when you come back to know how to plug in your x and determine your y, as well as plug in your y and solve for x. Well, I hope you enjoy your extra long 3-day weekend. I hope y'all get to go out to the fair this weekend and celebrate. So have a good day. Miss Bill, see you on Tuesday.